to it. And there you go.
There you go.
So we wanted to know, what did your schedule look like when you joined the business? And then what does your schedule look like now?
Oh, I definitely had to learn how to create a schedule and time management and all the things. I was definitely working full time when I first started. Here, let me just do a quick little intro. So, my name's Danielle Janiszewski. I've been in the business 10 years. I was a special ed and math teacher before, and now I'm a stay at home mom to my three babies. Super quick version of my story. I truly got started just to make a couple extra $100 to pay for our wedding. And then after like a couple months, I was like, I think I can do more with this. And then I hit diamond, and then I told myself I was going to quit once we got married, because that's why I got started. And then then I got pregnant. And then that's when like everything changed, because I was like, I think I can stay home with him and quit teaching and quit my tutoring business. Like, I think I can make this work. So I set a goal, hit it, set a goal, hit it, set a goal, hit it. And when I was 8 months pregnant for him, I could have made all the excuses to be like tired and exhausted and all the things. But instead, I was like, I want to stay home with him. So I had a why in me that, holy cow, like it made me want to cry. It fueled me so much. So, um, that having that why, I feel like, and I don't even know if I've had a strong enough why since that time, because it just drove me. Like I was doing everything that I could to really reach that goal, because I knew it would allow for me to stay home with him. So, anyways, just a little bit about me. Now I have three little ones, and had lots of ups and downs in the business and had lots of ups and downs in life during the business. Um, so now to get back to that question, I was working full time. I really was just like fitting it into my days, but I truly just wanted to like make a little extra money. So honestly, you guys, like I was just like sharing the greens, and I didn't like need to lose weight at that time. So I was like, these weight loss products, like I'm not going to share those. That's crazy. Like I was just so like skeptical, I guess is the word. So I was like, everybody needs the greens, I'm just going to share those. My first month I signed 10 customers, and they were all on the greens, if that shows you anything. My third month is when I signed my first distributor. So I just was kind of like figuring things out as I went. We didn't have Zooms, we didn't have like, nobody was coaching me or anything like that. I was just kind of figuring things out as I went. I made flashcards to learn all the products, if that tells you anything. It was just such a different thing back then, and we have so much support now, which is so incredible. So I was just kind of fitting it into my day, but I also wasn't like working really hard. I was just kind of like having fun with it, like it really was a hobby. um Now my schedule, I will say, of course, where is it, because I've been working on the go downstairs. I have it right here. So I have an hourly tracker, and every night before I go to bed, this is in boards, by the way. So every night before I go to bed, I fill out my hourly tracker. What goes on this is the things that are like 100% they're happening tomorrow. Okay. So tomorrow is actually a crazy day because we are driving 6 hours to a hockey tournament. And I am like, holy crap, how am I going to fit in all the things when I'm in a car for 6 hours with three kids and right, all the things. So tomorrow's going to be really wonky. So I'm going to have to figure out where I'm going to get everything done. But I need to make sure everything is done before we arrive at the hotel, because then it's going to be mayhem, right? So for me, I write everything down that's going to happen, and then I figure out when I'm going to do the tasks that I need to do. And I'm going to be totally honest with you. There are two tasks that I really don't love doing because they just take a lot of brain activity and a lot of brain power. And guess what? It's okay. We still have tasks that we don't love to do. Messaging and following up are two of the tasks that just take a lot of like organization or brain activity. So those are the ones that I do first. I get those out of the way, whether it be product messaging, host to post messaging, business opportunity messaging. I go right through like ABC. I organize my friends list, oldest to newest, and I just go right through those, and I kind of do like a follow up, but I'm messaging people. Like I message at least 100 people a day. Um, and I tell people, like, you've got to be at least messaging, even as a new distributor, like, you've got to be hitting like 50 people a day. So if you're not, you got to grow your network, you got to message more people. So my schedule now is that. but also I have a 3-year-old at home. So it really is on the go. And it's like when she naps, like that is like prime time for me to be working. Today, kids were home from school. So I was like, okay, communicate effectively with my 6 and 9-year-old. You're watching a movie. I'm working. She's sleeping. Okay. And if they get upset about that, I don't care. I don't feel bad because I'm able to stay home with you. You're not in daycare on a day that I should be working, right? So communicating with my husband, I told him, I said, I have a Zoom. If she wakes up, you have to go in. Communicating effectively is so huge so that I can make sure that I get my things done that I need to get done. And if I don't get it done, then I make sure that I stay up late and get it done. And I don't like staying up late sometimes. So that was a lot of things mixed in with the schedule question.
It's all good. So I wanted to ask you something. I'm trying so hard to like keep this to end before 6 o'clock, but it's like one of those things where like we can get to talking. It's so passionate about like each of these questions that that the girls asked, you know. So I'm like, yeah, I'm over here like, yeah, you know. I wanted to ask you, so you talked about when you were new, like you were kind of flying by the seat of your pants and like working it like a hobby, and it was kind of just when you could post and when you could follow up kind of a thing. Um, and then now you've got an hourly tracker and you're super organized with that, and you've taken the time to like time management, all of that. So at what point or what was it that made you take your business, like where did that switch go off where you put down the hobby mentality and picked up the business mentality?
It was when my why changed. Like I was just kind of, figuring things out, having fun with it. But honestly, once I caught the vision, how did I catch the vision? Staying close to the fire, hearing other people's stories, hearing, oh my God, if she can do it, I can do it. I can't tell you how many times I said that. If she can do it, I can do it. If she can do it, I can do it. You guys, we literally have the best team, the best systems are in place to help everybody be successful. You just got to show up and do the tasks, and you just got to stay consistent with it. And I'm not going to sit here and say it's easy, but I'm also not going to sit here and say it's hard. So you just have to show up and be consistent. And honestly, there's times where you're going to be like, well, I'm really struggling with growing my network. Okay, so do 10x your network. Do the task list, but 10x your network. Or do this, but 10x this. So you're always going to be pivoting. You're always going to be shifting along the way. But yeah, does that answer that?
Gosh, I think so. I mean, to me, you answered the question. You know what I mean? But yeah, that's exactly like you got to 10x it. You know, the very first, like, I don't know, 15 days of the month, I was like, where are all my customers? But like, when I look at how many host to posts I had up from the 1st to the 15th, like it's not where it's normally at. And so then it's like, okay,
yeah,
I'm going. And now I'm like almost 20 host to posts a day. And that's what she means, you guys, by 10xing. Like it wasn't like, oh, I haven't signed any customers, or I've only signed X amount of customers. It was like, no, I know that host to post give me X result. And so it's literally me doubling down on those, on those tasks. And so it's like when we can't grow our network, like, okay, we got to pivot and focus on growing our network, which sounds so, oxymoron or whatever, but that's just how it goes. Okay, so when you have a very limited time in your day, like say, I mean, I know you're the queen of busyness, and I love, one of the things I love about you as a leader is that you show how busy you are, because that truly shows other people if you can do it, anybody can. So you guys don't follow Danielle in her stories on the daily. You guys need to follow her in her stories on the daily, because one is amazing, and two, because literally if Danielle can do it, then we can do it, okay, so if say your day is totally crazy, which it always is, but say it's like jam-packed and you only have 30 minutes in the middle of the day to work your business, what tasks are you doing in that time?
Ooh. So
question, by the way.
I know, but here's the thing. I feel like, and don't hate me for saying this, because most people will say host to post. Most people, like most leaders on this team, are going to say host to post. I am going to say follow-ups and messaging. Like, I feel like for me, if I'm like, I only have 30 minutes to message somebody, then it's going to, I want to sign, or if I only have 30 minutes to work this business, I'm like, I want to sign a customer distributor. Like, that is my job. That is how I get paid, signing customers and distributors. How am I going to get a customer or distributor in 30 minutes? Following up and messaging. So honestly, for me, that's the thing that I'm going to do. But I do have to tell you guys, like, today I had, like, husband's gone all day, kids are home from school, hot freaking mess express, right? All day is nuts. What am I going to do? I'm going to go live. Most people would think you're nuts. That's literally the worst day to actually go live. But you guys, I'm so busy with 3 kids. So I'm going to incorporate them into my day. And I did just that. I signed a distributor off of it. I signed a customer off of it. And then I have another girl that messaged me and she was like, what was the pack that you talked about in your video? And I'm like, don't even know who you are, but thank you. So I'm telling you, like, incorporating your kids and your family is so huge, but also, like, exactly what you just said. If I can do it, they can do it. Like, they literally watched my video and they were like, homegirl has her hands full. But guess what she's doing? She's making a drink. She's talking about products. Her kids are helping her. Like, I'm a stay-at-home mom. I could do this too and incorporate. You know what I mean? Like, so I want for people to see, like, yes, my life is crazy. Yes, I am a hot mess, but I can do this, and so can you.
Mhm. Yeah, I love that so much. The real answer, what you were supposed to say for the trick question, was you wake up even earlier
Oh,
and
yeah.
stay up even later.
Okay,
Stuff done.
sorry. So here's what I will say is now I will say too, I have a 3-year-old that sleeps with me. It's not very fun. She does sleep in her own bed, but she always crawls in at like 3 a.m. So I literally live one day at a time. So like tomorrow, we are leaving for a hockey tournament, like first thing in the morning. Kids are staying home from school. People think you have 6 hours in a car by yourself, like they're going to be like chilling out. They ain't chilling out. Like, she is not fun in the car. So that's not 6 hours where I get to work. That's 6 hours where I manage children and I try to do whatever I'm doing. It's not fun. So I am going to be setting my alarm clock to wake up early. She's going to be sleeping beside me and I'm going to get at least 80% of my tasks done for the day. And then when I'm in the car, I'm not struggling and stressed. I'm just finishing up what I have to do and then answering messages that are coming in.
Okay.
So, yeah.
So um so how are you checking, like, how are you knowing what tasks need to get done when you're in between, say you're riding in the car, you're hour 3 in, Izzy's throwing a fit, your husband's in a bad mood, and the other two are arguing over the iPad, like, and you have finally, they settle down for 2 seconds and you pick up your phone to do a task. Like, how do you know what task you're going to do right then and there?
So I have this, and this is kind of my little bit of a Bible, and I also have it on my phone. So I know like what I've done throughout the day. So this is mine, and it's just like leader stuff too. But basically, I will say I always start out with the messaging and the follow-ups because those are the hardest, those take the most brain activity. And honestly, for me, I can have Izzy crawling on me and the kids screaming in the background. And here I am, like, updating my stories. Like, that's fun for me. Updating a reel. I can do that with no brain activity. Okay. So I have to get the stuff done that takes thought earlier in the day when I actually have brain power to really like do that. The other stuff, I'm like, I don't care if kids are screaming. I'm over here like, sweet, I'll just take a video of you and post it in my stories too while we're at it. Like there's some tasks that I can do when the kids are nuts and crazy. And the other tasks that I'm like, I like to sit at my desk and have my calendar next to me. And like it's very different. So I need to get those tasks done earlier in the day opposed to later when it's a little crazier.
Yes, that's such a beautiful art of learning what tasks require, like, nobody bother me, and
Yeah.
what tasks you can do. Kids walking in asking where their school uniforms are, or
Yeah.
your husband's asking you at one event is in 6 months from now.
Yeah.
So I told that, and I love that because it's the same, it's the same way for me too. I had about an hour where I was going to be sitting somewhere today. And so I brought my iPad in hopes to do some work. Like there's certain things I do on my iPad for work. And I'm like, I'm not going to have Grace with me. I'm not going to have any other kids. Like I'm individual focused time. And I was like, who am I kidding? Because I love people watching. So like you put me somewhere where, I can people watch, and I'm watching people the entire time because that's just what I do. So it's, taking the time to know yourself and your focus and all of that good stuff. And two, we get better results when we're doing those tasks like she's talking about, like follow-ups, for example. Like that's a task for me where I have to be sitting at my desk, like nobody's talking to me, like there's not things going on in the living room, kind of a thing. And there's a huge difference on the results that I get back when I'm doing that super focused follow-up time versus when I'm doing the follow-ups and my husband's cooking dinner and Grace is asking me where her whatever is and Jaden's walking in and out of the garage, like almost nobody will respond to me when I'm a chicken with my head cut off doing my follow-ups. But when I'm for it, it's such a huge, huge difference.
Can I touch on that really quick?
Yeah.
So I have like the chicken cut off head follow-ups and the super awesome intentional follow-ups. So here's the difference between the two, because I love follow-ups when I am sitting at my desk and I have my calendar. It's like so organized. I love it. So I'm going to share that with you really quick. But the other way is inbox cleanup. So inbox cleanup is I just go to my messages and then I literally there's times where I just scroll like a little bit and I just oh, I need to catch up with her. Oh, I need to message her. Or there's times where I'm like this. And we're going to stop right there. And then I check through and I see who's on the fence or who I talked to last or whatever, those kinds of follow-ups. I can do that when the house is chaos because I'm just kind of scrolling. But this, I want to show you guys this. So this is the Plum Planner, which you guys have probably heard that a million times by now. But how I do this, okay, is I use this to keep track of all my potentials. I aim for 5 to 10 potentials every single day. So you can basically see that I'm aiming for 5 to 10. Customers go up top. I clearly did not push distributors this week because there's not a ton. But you can see customers are up top, distributors are on the bottom. Okay, so I go for 5 to 10 every single day. And then the serious ones that I either sent a link to or they said they're ready and they're going to send me their information, right? I put them actually on the side. So when I do quick follow-ups, I can go to them first and then I can go through the rest of the people when I do have more time. So just wanted to share that quick system that I absolutely swear by. After 10 years, I'm loving this system.
That is awesome. The Plum Planner is something I just haven't transitioned to yet, because I know it's going to be all when I switch over my system. And so I'm just not emotionally prepared for a switch over yet.
Yeah.
So the next question is, how do you stay organized?
Well, I think you have to accept that it's organized chaos because if you saw my desk, it's not organized. I feel like something that I personally do struggle with, which I try so hard to be consistent with all the tasks, but in this season of life, it is very hard and it's very difficult to be consistent with every single task. So I do my best, I give myself grace, and I'm always making sure that I'm taking care of myself first. So I won't even sit down to work until I have my workout done. And then it's okay, now I can breathe, now I feel better. But I think I think the hourly planner does help me stay organized, stay consistent with those tasks. So as you can see, you guys, these are always right on my desk. So I print them out two to a page and then I staple them and then I just rip them off. So these help me stay organized with my tasks that I'm doing. And then of course I have my Plum Planner. So tomorrow when I get in the car and we're leaving for a 5-day trip, that's what I'm going to take with me. And I'm going to take my iPad because that's where my charts are. So I just keep those things with me. And then I just try to stay as consistent as I can with those tasks.
I love that. I love that. So I'm gonna skip a couple of questions because she's not on. The one who was like,
Okay.
"Can you ask questions?" So we're just gonna blaze over them because I don't think it's relevant. Okay, so moving on. We're gonna switch gears and go to Reels and TikTok. How are you interacting with people who are commenting on your Reels? So like obviously one who gets one or two comments isn't a thing, but like when you have a reel or a TikTok that gets, a ton of comments or a ton of whatever, how are you interacting with those people?
So I will message them. Typically, I ask people if a reel does, like I say, pop off, but typically I bring people to my cell phone to text me. So how I do my reels is I make them all on TikTok. Okay. I make them on TikTok, I put them up on TikTok, and then I copy the link, and then I bring it to SnapTik to remove the logo, and then I put it up on Facebook and I put it up on Instagram. So I've got the same video that took me 5 minutes, maybe collectively to make, right? And then I just have it on 3 platforms and then I share it to my stories. So really that's 2 more platforms right there. But typically I will message people. The one, Jamie's weight loss one, really like that one, like definitely blew up. So I had a lot of people. So I was only messaging because I'm not friends with half these people. So I was messaging like 15 at a time max, and then I would have to come back to it. And when people like it, it's like they commented. So I'm messaging those people too, but of course I don't want to get blocked, so I have to be careful with that. Um, but I do put if I'm like hoping that it takes off, if it's a business one, right? Your free meeting will end in 10 minutes. Okay. So I do put my phone number on them for the most part so that they can text me. And I will probably say on average, I get 1 text message a day that says opportunity. So obviously, like, I don't know what platform it's on, you know what I mean? But it's somebody is seeing one of my reels because that's where I put my reels. It says opportunity and text me. So I get on average 1 a day.
That is amazing. That is absolutely amazing.
Thanks.
And to back on that too, because I know like I'm nervous about putting my cell phone number on a public reel, right? So there's an app that's called Text Now, and it's all one word. But it'll actually create you a cell phone number
Yeah.
from that app. And that's free, and you have the phone number for free for 30 days, and then you just have to send a text message to somebody before that 30 days is up to like renew it for another month for free. So I text myself every single month to keep my free phone number, and that's the phone number I use so that when people are texting and calling on that number, like it doesn't, I just get the little like notification pop up that I'll get when I have like a notification on Messenger, but it's not like an actual, like my phone is ringing kind of a thing. So I love Text Now for those of you who wouldn't want to share your cell phone number.
And just Lori did say, do you ever get any weirdos? And 100% honesty, I haven't gotten one. Never.
Just the weirdos on the comments on
Facebook.
whatever post where,
Yeah.
yeah.
I get more weirdos on Facebook.
So nice to meet you. I'm like, no, Larry.
No thanks.
So the last question I have for you, and then maybe with a few minutes we can open it up to like any questions that they have that maybe when I translated the question it didn't translate right, or
Sure.
they've thought of more questions. We run out of our free meeting time. But with how much negativity floats around Facebook and in regards to social media marketing, how do you keep yourself from getting in a funk about that?
I say that's all mindset. Like, I think that's just why you have to work on yourself every single day. I have a really strong mindset. So if I'm being honest with you, that doesn't even enter my world. Like if I see something negative or I'm like, yo, you crazy, they're either getting blocked, they're getting unfriended, or they're getting unfollowed very quickly. Like I don't, I don't allow any of that even in my space. And I think it goes to show you like the 5 to 10 people that you surround yourself with. Like those are the people that you're going to be the most like. I want to surround myself with people like Alysa and Trinette because those are the people that are going to be lifting me up on the daily. And I'm going to be freaking here lifting them up on the daily. Those are the people that I want to surround myself with. And I know it kind of sounds silly, but like that's who I want to surround myself with on Facebook too. I want my news feed to be all positivity. So if it's not, see you later. Bye. As soon as somebody comments something negative or something weird on one of my posts, I go block them. I have no problem blocking somebody. And just to take that one step further, if somebody's not going to be a customer or a distributor and they are not willing to host a post for me, goodbye. I do not need you as a friend on my Facebook page. So my Facebook, yes, it's for friends and family and all the things, but it's my business. So I am not afraid to block people or unfriend them at all. And you're going to have things in life that are going to happen to you personally that are going to be more distracting than things that are on social media and scrolling and stuff like that too. And it really is your mindset. Like you have to have a strong mindset. Um, what did Amanda say on someone said it, I think it was our leadership Zoom. So prepare for the pain, prepare for the pain, prepare now. Gosh, I can't remember what it was, but it was something like that because it really hit home for me because I was like, when I lost my dad, I was not prepared. I had no idea how to handle pain. So I just like totally checked out. And I lost my mom a few months ago. And obviously it was so traumatic. It was very sudden, but I had learned and I did learn the hard way, unfortunately. But like I prepared for the pain. I knew how hard it was going to be. And I knew that I couldn't take a step back from my business because it would crumble. And I needed to show up, but I didn't know how, you know what I mean? So it was like, Danielle, like focus on one day at a time. And what do you need to do? And I'm telling you, the one thing I couldn't even get out of bed. So the one thing I had to do was get on my Peloton. You have to get out of bed to be on your Peloton. And then once I got on my Peloton, I was okay. But I couldn't go back to bed or else I would stay there the rest of the day. But you have to prepare yourself now for the things that are going to happen in your life and in your business because it is not going to be easy. You're going to have hurdles, but you have to prepare now. So you got to work on your mindset now. Start working on it now. Getting into a routine, make it a habit, whether it's a podcast, whether it's a book. I suck at reading books, I'm going to be honest with you, but throw a YouTube or a podcast, like I'm here for it all day. So hopefully that helps you guys, but like you're going to have hurdles in life. You're going to have hurdles in this business. So prepare now for when those come that you're just going to blow right through it and you're going to continue moving forward.
Absolutely. Yeah. And to piggyback that, like, I don't even like, when I go to add friends, like I'm so careful with whose network I'm adding from. Like I wouldn't, if I was, to go to somebody's Facebook page and as I'm scrolling their Facebook page for a minute, like if I'm coming across like political negativity or them, complaining about whatever the gas prices or traffic or whatever, like I don't go to their network to add those people because they are who they hang out with.
Yep.
Right. So like every network is going to be super crummy negative people too. So yeah. And then Debbie put in how often do you delete pending friend requests? I delete them every day. So I'm like way on the other side of that where
You're so good.
Yeah, it's just because it lets me add more friends if I don't have as many pending. If they're older than a week, then I have a problem with adding to my network. So I stay pretty good at keeping them like not any older than 5 days. And it seems to let me add more people when I have it like that. You can just read I don't know when
I see them now. Sorry. I just scrolled down.
Yeah.
So if you have friends that you're a part of other social selling, should I just unfriend them? Like honestly, if other people are doing other businesses, they could be one of your customers. So I always present the business, I present the opportunity. You guys, I just had somebody the other day join my team and she's like, "So I'm with this company, but I'm not really doing much with them anymore." I'm like, "Okay, that's fine. As long as you're not doing it, then you can do this." So I would not ever remove them for that, because for me, I'm going to be so gosh dang loud that everybody's going to want to join me. I'm going to show how much fun I'm having and how much I love these products, because I want all those people that are doing all those other companies to be like, I want to join her. I want to do what she's doing. So be super loud about it. But if they're not willing to be a customer, a distributor, or do a host to post for you, then yes, then you can unfriend them.
Absolutely.
Yeah, yep. I am not afraid to delete people. I'm not afraid to block people. I do it quite often, but I'm also at like a max, so that encourages me a little bit too. We have a minute and a half left. So does anybody have any other questions that you guys have before um they boot us off this thing?
In recovery, they call it, does anybody have any burning desires?
There you go.
Does anybody have a burning question in?
Okay,
Yay.
put your question in the chat. I'm going to take 1 minute and I'm going to share one thing unless you guys have a question. I want you guys to stop and think. I want you guys to do an activity tonight. I want you guys to think about if $3,000 was deposited into your bank account today, what would you do with it? Think about what you would do with it. And then I want you to put an emotion behind it. The emotion, how is that going to feel? What are you going to feel when that money is deposited into your bank account? And then what are you going to do with it? And then I want you guys to think about how you're going to get to that. What activities do you have to do? Do you have to go Ruby? And then what tasks do you have to get yourself to in order to then go Ruby? I want you to really write that down. Send it to me, send it to Alysa. But I want you guys to really think hard about that, because that really, you got to have that game plan and that strategy really like written out for you to really go full force with that, because it is so possible within the next month to make that happen.
Yay. Well, thank you so much for your time, Danielle. We appreciate you so stinking much. And I love you, love you,